And now, Giants Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
All right, welcome everybody to the Saturday night edition of Giants Sports Talk Live. Giants win today, Glenn. How about that?
Oh boy, a win's a win. We'll take it. Snell was not at his best, Eric.
He was dookie. Let's just come out with it. Yeah, he allowed two earned runs up, senior man. He allowed 2 earned runs on walks. I don't think he gave up a hit, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he gave up a hit. Let me look at the box score real quick. Nope. He did not give up a hit. But you know what he did? He walked a shit ton of people. Over 3 innings, he walked 6 guys, man.
Well, I guess I wasn't paying close enough attention. They went to the bullpen, and then they're like, that is the first Mariner hit of the game. And I'm like, whoa.
Yep.
Wait a second. He's following on the heels of Robbie Ray today. This was a Ray-like performance, Eric.
It was. And, hey, hold on. I got to get you, Glenn. The bullpen did pretty good today. The bullpen did pretty good. They only allowed 1 run, and that was it. They locked it down. Bivens looked good. Duvall was okay. Now, I was surprised. Were you surprised that Walker came in?
I thought it'd be rest day. But then again, they need the wins. You know what? I think as much as it's been a mess for him personally, I think Melvin might he feels a little pressure, Eric. Got to win these games.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, after last night, after what we saw against Chicago early in the week, man, they got to take every week. You got to strike when the iron's hot. Hey, Senior, hey, Carter, Benji, they're starting to roll in, Eric.
Yeah, they are. What's up, Benji? What's up, Carter? What's up, Senior? Appreciate it. I know there's other guys out there haven't said nothing yet, but that's cool. More people will start trickling in because we just went live. But yeah, Giants win today. But here's a question. What did the other teams ahead of the Giants do today? We will see.
I know right now.
Yeah, I know. But before we get into that, whoa, where did that come from? Whoa, where did that come from?
Smell that from here.
Let's go ahead and get into what the Giants did today. Let's do it.
And now, today's Giants in Review on Giants Sports Talk Live.
Geez, Ian, sounds like it's going around.
Oh, my God. I'm telling you, man. It just came out of nowhere. What's up, Rob?
Hey, what'd you have for supper tonight?
Oh, I had 2 barilla tacos and some chips and salsa. Homemade salsa, man. Martin Van Nostrand. What is up, Martin Van Nostrand? What is up, man? All right. What do we got here? Giants win in Seattle, of course. They were able to get the victory 4-3 over the Seattle Mariners. Boy, and I thought we would never find a team that can't hit worse than the Giants, and we found it. Seattle.
Yeah, but wait till you scroll. Wait till the end of the scroll down. Mariners. Wait till you hit the end of the scroll down, Eric.
Yeah, I know.
When they announced the runners in scoring position numbers.
It was another one of those days, man. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I smell what you're stepping in. All right, let's get into the box score. Fitzgerald had a good game today. Yesterday, he had a terrible game. Had 4 strikeouts. Almost had that hit in the 10th inning, but it didn't quite work out. Today, he had 2 hits. Wade Jr. had a hit. Ramos, Conforto, and Canna, or I should say Ramos and Conforto, and Chapman for that matter. They didn't do a whole lot. But look at that, the bottom of the lineup this time, Glenn. Yastrzemski with 3 runs, or 3 hits. I'm sorry. Estrada with 2 hits. McCray with 2 hits. So the bottom of the lineup was doing some damage today.
Not bad. Not bad at all today, Eric. Casale.
What's up, Gonzo?
190 now, Eric. Ooh.
Yeah, I know, huh? How about that?
It was bad. And then when you dip below that 200 mark, that is not good.
Yeah, I know.
But he's the best we got right now.
Unfortunately, he's the guy. Him and Knapp are going to be the guy right now because until Bailey comes off
you'll
of
see
that
Knapp play more? Do you think? What do you think? Or is this just?
No, I think you see Casale more. I think Knapp's going to be the guy that just. What's that? I'm sorry.
You think they'll platoon like a game here, a game there? Like
I think Casale takes the. I think Casale takes the brunt of the work, and Knapp will be in there just to give him a break. That's my guess. Yes, Michael Roeder, a leadoff bunt
last year.
That's a great point. That was interesting, right? What's up, Krister? The Giants led off with a bunt. How about that? What did you think about that? Hey, might as well get a runner on. They knew they were facing a tough pitcher. The Giants actually played some small ball. Yeah, Yaz hit the home run. He had a single shot. Again, that was the one that determined the Giants' victory. But a lot of those runs were manufactured, which was nice to see. They played some small ball.
Well, Senior's been calling for small ball all year.
Yeah, well, Michael Roeder definitely has been calling for small ball, but it worked today, and it just tells you, it shows you there's other ways to win the game other than just knocking the ball over the fence. Yeah, I saw that. Bailey might be back next week. I heard about that.
I didn't see that today, Eric.
I saw it on Twitter. They're saying he's already starting to ramp up. You got to be careful with that though, because with an oblique, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to re-aggravate that. It's just like a hamstring. You pull a hamstring, man, and if you come back too early, all you're going to do is re-aggravate it.
So the hitting got us through the game. The pitching wasn't as solid as we'd hoped today, Eric, especially when you got Snell going into a game on a Saturday afternoon in Seattle against a weak hitting lineup. I thought we'd get better things. You want to take a look at the bullpen as well, I think.
Yeah, let's do that. But before that, look at that. The Giants had 11 hits today. They had that's the most hits they've had in a while, I think. But again, let's look at this number.
They could have more hits. Could have more hits, Eric. Could have more hits.
More runs.
Nice play. See a Rosarita's catch?
Yeah, how about that? Yeah. Yep. That was a good catch.
Out for it. Got the wind knocked out of him.
Yep, sure did. Bailey, what am I talking about? The teams with runners or hits with runners in scoring position was just horrendous again. 2 for 13. Yes, they won, but that's a number that I'm tired of seeing. I'm tired of always looking at the box score and seeing only 2 hits with runners in scoring position. That's not going to get it done. Again, they're lucky that they're playing a team that doesn't hit very well. That's not going to be the case in Milwaukee. Milwaukee hits the ball, and I think they're one of the better teams with getting hits with runners in scoring position. So you're not going to be able to get away with just maybe even, I don't know if you get away with 4 runs. Again, it all depends on how well the pitching's doing. But that's a number that has been plaguing the team the entire year, and it's tough to watch when you see those opportunities just go by the wayside. But here we go. We talked about it earlier. Snell, 3 innings pitched, no hits, but look at that, 6 walks.
That's not a surprise. The guy walks too many anyway.
Those 6 walks led to 2 earned runs. Yeah, he had 5 strikeouts, but he had 6 walks.
Yeah, I mean, 2 bases loaded walks. 2.
And they were fortunate that the bullpen came up. You got Bivens, who went 3 innings. Look at that, only allowed 2 hits. No earned runs. Hicks had 1 hit, allowed 1 run. Doval, and that 1 run was almost negated for the simple fact that they couldn't turn that double play. I mean, it was literally, it was that close from them to be able to turn that double play. But again, the bullpen, look at that. They got, what is that? You got 3 innings here. That's 2 innings here. And you got 6 innings from the bullpen. They did a pretty good job. Especially, I was surprised to see Walker come in and close it down. That was a shock for me, considering he pitched 2 innings. But the bullpen did okay. They picked up Snell, who was not, quote unquote, Snell-like. But again, they were able to score runs by using the small ball. As you can see up here, who had the RBIs? Fitzgerald had the RBI. I think that was a hit with a runner in scoring position. Yeah. Chapman, same thing. Yastrzemski's RBI was the home run. Estrada was a hit with a runner in scoring position. So they got something done. Well, I think I'm sorry. I think one of them was a sac fly. That's why it doesn't show a hitting with the runners in scoring position. But they were able to get it done with some of that small ball. I mean, if you got to win that way, that's fine. That's okay. I'm good with that. I just want to see more taking advantage of the opportunity that is before them.
In a second, Eric, you're not going to like what you see. We win. Yay! But we're not catching anybody.
Yeah. Why didn't we catch anyone, Glenn?
The Mets have just got final. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look. Here we go. And it's not just the Mets either, guys.
And now, a Giant Sports Talk Live scoreboard update.
All right, here we go. Out of town scoreboard. Let me get rid of that comment so it doesn't block. All right, here we go.
With that.
Refresh this. Okay, in LA, of course, Shohei Ohtani. Of course, he hit a home run today. He hit his 41st. Right now, they are leading the Rays in the. Looks like they're going to the top of the 8th, beating the Rays 7-5. As I said, Shohei Ohtani with his 41st home run.
Yeah. Wasn't a good day for the Dodgers, or I should say the Yankees. I'm just taking a peek to see what. Nope. Judge went 0 for 2. Jazz Chisholm was 2 for 4, but that's about all the offense they got. Colorado swamped the Yankees by a final score of 9-2.
That's
the starting pitcher was Will Warren. Will Warren surrendered 6 runs, 5 earned runs, with 6 strikeouts over only 3 innings. They were down early, couldn't catch up. Not even close, 9-2 final. Look at the Rockies, 13 hits to 5 in that game.
That's pretty incredible. Wow. Rockies, man, they unloaded over in New York.
I did my homework because I see ESPN didn't give much to work with in that game, did they?
Yeah, look at that. They ain't giving you nothing. That's almost like a damn Colorado game, except for the Yankees didn't quite.
That's why you can't bet on baseball, Eric. My God, every day we see this. Last week there was a game. Remember Chicago's game? I said
Chicago versus the Yankees.
We didn't even do a preview. And then they won. So who the heck knows? What happened up in Toronto?
Hey, look at that! Toronto Blue Jays were able to pull out a win against the Angels. Again, it's the Blue Jays and Angels. But they pull out the win. Put up 3 runs. Look at that. The Angels were only able to muster 1 hit. Look at that. He almost had a no-hitter. Bowden Francis. Who the hell's Bowden Francis?
I had him in my fantasy league. Cut him early in the year. He was terrible. But he's a big prospect, Eric.
Wow. That's incredible. Well, good for him, man. Almost made some history for the Blue Jays. What happened in Baltimore?
Oh, it was a good day for Jackson Holiday.
Yeah, it was.
1 for 1.
1 for 1.
A 3-run double. The Orioles got 3 runs, beat the Astros by that 3-2 score. He was responsible for everything in that game. I saw some people who play Fantasy League. We're not happy. We're sending me messages this afternoon, Eric.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Will B wasn't happy.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't happy. He had Framber go, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I found 2 or 3 messages coming in personally. I think there was one on the group chat. Will was out of shape over that today. He's like, it's getting to that point, Eric, where time is dwindling down in the Major League Baseball season, and it is running out of time now. It's dying a slow death as far as fantasy baseball too.
Yeah, it sure is. Absolutely.
You and I are cut from the same fantasy league cloth by the looks of it.
Oh yeah, man. I'm like 8th place, but oh well, it is what it is. It's all about having fun anyway.
It's all about having me. Then I must be 9th. God.
Yeah, no big deal.
Oh, well, Brewers win.
Brewers win against the Athletics. Look at that, 9-5. Athletics, man. One thing about the Athletics, they put up a lot of runs. It's just their pitching just can't get them through it. But if they could only find some decent starting pitching, they could be a formidable team, man. Goodness gracious. We saw them against the damn Giants. They were always putting up some decent at-bats against the Giants. Then again, it's the Giants.
Yeah.
Take that what you will. But yeah, Brewers able to pull it out. That is the next team the Giants will be facing after tomorrow's game, the final game of the series in Seattle. Down in that's you. Down in Boston, what happened with the Diamondbacks?
I smell something horrible right now. I'm getting all these juicy ones with no stats. Anything happened there? Diamondbacks 4, Red Sox 1. Out hitting the Red Sox 6-5. Diamondbacks win their 5th in a row. They got some good pitching in that game today too, Eric. Arizona was led by Zach Gallen, gave up only 2 hits in the 6 innings, didn't surrender a run. The bullpen was pretty good too. AJ Puck got an inning in that game for a rarity. Gave up a hit, but nothing. So 4-1 victory. Puck was picked up, by the way, from Miami earlier this year. Diamondbacks are getting hot, Eric. Look out for them.
I know, man. They're staying up there. Both them and the Padres. We'll find out what happens with the Padres here in a short bit.
You notice a lot of the teams that should be winning today and should be winning down the stretch here in later August. We're heading into September, Eric. You're seeing those teams winning now.
Yes, you are. Speaking of the Cubs in Miami, Cubs, look at that score. 14-2. 17 hits. Seiya Suzuki had 2 home runs in the game. Again, that's a club that's right behind the Giants. They could very well pass them. If they keep playing the way they are, Cubs are playing some really good baseball here. When we look in the standings, we'll see what they've done over their last 10 games, but the Cubs are playing some really good baseball. So if the Giants, man, if they can't find that groove, you got the Cubs right behind them that can move against them. There's no doubt about it.
Yep. Don't disturb the groove. And earlier, Giants, we mentioned, beat the Mariners. We'll talk about more Giants baseball coming up. It was the Reds over the Pirates, 10-2 today. Not much to really tell you about that game other than the fact that Ellie De La Cruz drove in a couple of runs, and that game was it really doesn't matter. 10-2. Reds.
Yeah, exactly.
Pirates
Same thing.
Quick.
Same thing with the Tigers and the White Sox. Tigers put up a bunch of runs, 13 runs against the White Sox 4. It means nothing. So let's go to the Phillies and the Royals.
TJ. My stat says TJ. You're seeing on the screen his real name. JT Realmuto. He hit his second 3-run home run versus the Royals, 11-2. Holy smoke. I said it a few minutes ago. Phillies are a team that looks good. They're getting better down the stretch, too. You're seeing a lot of these teams. I wonder if did they make a lot of trades? We're going to have to examine what trades were made and which teams have actually benefited, Eric.
I'm trying to remember.
Royals were 72-57. But look what the Phillies did today, a whopping in that one. The Cardinals couldn't put anything on the board today, and they are in a playoff chase right now, too.
Yes, they are. Twins, man. They blanked them. Pablo Lopez had a great game today for the Twins.
Do you know what the attendance was of that game, Eric?
Which one?
Twins Cardinals?
No, do you have it?
In Minnesota. I'm curious what the attendance was for that game.
Let me take a look. You ask and you shall receive. Oh, hold on. There's a show. There's a show. I'm not seeing it.
Geez, were they that embarrassed?
I'm not seeing it.
Mine doesn't either. I have a stats package here on my phone. Just pulled it up. Not giving me the crowd.
Nope. Don't see it, man.
They had a sellout about 40 feet next door over at Target Center, the home of the Minnesota Lynx. They beat Caitlin Clark today in WNBA play. That was a sellout. People were lined up for tickets. People were pissed they couldn't get in. So
interesting.
I told you, it's going to have dividends on selling tickets in different markets. Could be the case here next year, Eric.
Oh boy, that should be interesting. Not my forte. That's in your wheelhouse for me.
I don't know if it's my wheelhouse, but Eric, I said on the show last night, anybody who was with us, we talked a little bit about, competition and why you've got to win when you've got teams from other sports.
Yep.
Same time of the year, they're playing.
That's
your
true.
Little girl or your little boy or your family says, Dad, can we go to a game? All right, I'll get Giants tickets. No, we want to go to the women's basketball. You know what? There's 2 or 3, 4, 5 tickets that weren't sold, Eric.
Yep.
And as an owner of a team, I'm going to say time to win is now. When I've got direct competition to my own market. The Guardians, 13-5 today over the Rangers. Guardians are heating up too. They picked up their 74th win of the year. I think Naylor picked up a home run today. Did you have him in the pool in your fantasy league?
Who?
Naylor?
No.
I had him and I let him go. I thought you picked him up.
No, I think I had him for like a week maybe, and then I dropped
You got a case of the fumbleitis. I pick him up and I let him. I did that too early. We're not going to get into that. I ran out of roster moves after 6 weeks.
Oops. Oops.
I was forewarned and I didn't listen.
Let's see. Did the Braves win? Of course the Braves won. And then look at that. Well, you could get to that one too. Braves win in Washington. They beat the Nationals 4-2. As you can see, Travis DiArnold, RBI single, puts the Braves on top. That's when it went 3-2, and they were able to tack on an extra run. But yes, so the Braves are still in their winning waves. Does it mean anything for the Giants? Nope. Same goes for what happened in San Diego. What happened in San Diego, Glenn?
Oh, the Mets all over the Padres. 7-1 the final score. Even though the Padres out-hit the Mets in that game, and you're making it difficult on me. There we go. The Mets did beat the Padres 7-1. Francisco Lindor, his, I believe, 26th home run of the season, and it was a grand slam. Ripped it open. That was enough. That was 4, and that was enough to beat the Padres today. And again, hard to believe. You look at the box score and you go, wow, 6 hits, only 5 hits, but a 7-1 lopsided game. One swing in the bat can change everything. And it can
100%.
also affect our standings in the wild card, Eric.
Yeah, let's take a look. Let me guess. Probably didn't move much. That's just a guess. You got the Arizona Diamondbacks again. So, well, here, let's look at the American League. Ooh, Baldo. So that means the New York Yankees must be on top in the AL East, right? Because it used to be the Yankees sitting here. Now it's the Baltimore Orioles. So Baltimore Orioles got the first spot of the wild card. Minnesota Twins got the second. Kansas City Royals got the third. But look, they're neck and neck. The Twins and the Royals are neck and neck. But these two teams are also battling it out for their own division, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if Kansas City will because they're in the West. Minnesota, I don't know if how close they are to catching the Guardians. I think it is pretty close, but we'll see what happens there. Boston Red Sox, they're 4.5 out. They got a little bit of work to do. There's the Mariners. I guess they're back to 500 after today's loss. I don't know. I think it might be kind of tough for them to be able to leapfrog both the Red Sox to get into that third wild card. So we'll see what happens with American League. Now, National League, here we go. Diamondbacks still sitting atop the first wild card. Padres the second. Braves still holding on to the third. New York Mets are still 2.5 games behind, exactly from yesterday. And guess what? The Giants are still 5 games out of the third wild card. So even though they won today, you got no movement whatsoever. Cubs are still a half a game behind the Giants. Only a half a game. That's it, guys. That is it. Cardinals are now 6 games because they lost today. Reds about 7.5. So again, Cardinals, Cubs, Giants, they're all close in it. Mets, they're just, let's look. What are they in the last 10? They're at 6-4. Mm-hmm. Who is it that we were? Yeah, 6-4. That's not bad. It's not horrible. Giants
7-3, Eric. 7-3. Yeah. Wow.
7-3 for the Diamondbacks. 500. Whoa, 500 for the Padres. Again, because of the series against the Mets has hurt them. Braves are 7-3, man. Won 3 in a row. They're on a tear.
Hey, Derek.
And if you notice something, look, all the guys, I should say all the teams that are in the lead are positive run differential. That's what you want to see. This is a little bit of an aberration. These two are aberrations. But, yep, that's how it usually looks. Look at this. Look at that. Plus 104 in run differential. And they're battling it for a wild card. But like I said, they might be out. I don't know how far behind they are from the here, let's take a look. Let's see where they are in compared to the Astros, right? Aren't they in this? No. What am I talking about? They're in the Central as well. So there you go. Look at this race in the Central. I'm sorry. Look at this. Guardians, Twins, Royals, all right there. The AL Central is up for grabs. As far as those 3 teams, they're all playing excellent baseball. So
I told you a month ago, the surprising team there is the one in blue, Kansas City.
Yeah, they're
72 wins.
Who thought that they were going to be having this type of a season? But look at that. Baseball, it's kind of funny that way.
Eric, you know how you tell a 500 baseball team when that's what you've got to work with? It's when you have a game like today, when Snell just was kind of poo-pooing out there, and you win. You eke it out. But You've got a 5-1 lead the night before, and you lose it in the 9th. That's how you know you've got a 500 ball club, Eric.
Yeah, it's a 500 ball club. So that's what they are, man. Right? Here we are. This is August. We're in August 24th, and you're
punted a win away yesterday, Eric. They punted it away.
That's the team is who they are. Come on. Let's not beat around the bush, guys.
Nope.
August 24th, and you're 1 game above 500. That's just who they are.
So the rumor around town today here in San Francisco, Eric, is perhaps the San Francisco Giants are on the cusp, maybe already negotiating to re-sign, work out a deal, get him back for year 2. Matt Chapman, your thoughts?
I saw some talks of they're in discussions and getting a 9-figure deal, supposedly. Whatever. What does that mean? Look, Chapman is doing okay. Let me ask the chat.
So you're not going to answer me. All right.
I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't want to sign him for 5+ years. Not Chapman.
Good God.
Right?
Well, Eric, they won't sign him for 5+.
Look, you want to
sign a chance to sign him in the offseason this year and sign him for 1.
Tell you what. You already got a deal in place. It's already a 3-year deal. Just let it run out. Who cares? Because after the 3 years, guess what? His skills are probably going to diminish. So just write it out. You already got a deal in place. And if he wants to opt out, then opt out. Who cares, right?
Michael Roeder says he's ready to have him back next year. He's
for how much and for how long?
Welcome. But if you bring him back, just realize we're not going to be much better unless it better be a hell of a change in the offensive lineup, because you're only bringing him back for the glove.
Is he? No. Well, he's having a decent year with the bat. He is.
Well, he's having decent, Eric, but he's not. He can't change our fortunes. There's just not.
No. Now, would you? And that's okay, Justin. That's what I'm talking about. How much would you be willing to pay Chapman per year for how long? And yeah, Schmidt is probably not your everyday third baseman.
Nope.
I don't know, man.
Nope.
I don't know if he's the answer.
Nope.
So tell me, guys, I want to hear it in the chat. Give me your ideas. Are you guys happy? Would you guys be happy to have Chapman back? Look, he's got 20 home runs. 3 years. There you go. Well, see, he's already got 2 more years left on his contract, right? But he can opt out, right? I understand it. He can opt out. But I'm not signing him for – would you sign him for 5 years?
Hey, see what Jordan says. He uses the word irresponsibility. It would be irresponsible not to sign.
Okay, tell me, Jordan. Yeah. I want to hear it from you, Jordan. How much would you pay for Chapman's services?
We're waiting.
Because right now, he's still got 2 more years left on the contract currently with the Giants. Both of them have opt-outs. I get it. I understand. But again, it's going to be his decision on what he wants to do. No, you don't build upon Chapman. You don't build one thing. I'll have to push back on that, George. You don't build on Chapman. Chapman is someone that you add to someone else. You know who you build? You build around. I would build around Ramos, right? He's your young guy who has potential. But
I got to agree with Justin. There it is.
Wants one last payday because no team is giving him that big deal. Probably
nobody gave
5 years, 90 millions. I don't like. The 90 million isn't that bad, but I don't like the 5 years, man. You can build around Eldridge. Yes, Cryptic. Very good. Yes.
We have Wilmer next year, according to Lethal.
Let's see. I'd give him 3 years with a 4th-year option. I would make that a mutual option, though. Matt Williams played it. Okay, but look, Matt Williams had a little bit of a better bat than Chapman, though.
Yes, you think so? Absolutely.
Yeah, Chapman has a fantastic glove. I'm not going to deny that. No, not at all. But his bat is, it's okay. Let's just say that. It's okay. It's okay to above average. 4 to 5 years, he could pay to his 36. I don't like that, man. Once you start getting into that 36 year, I mean, you're talking like Evan Longoria type of comps at that time. And I didn't like that.
I've always been vocal, Eric, that they don't sign the pieces they need to long term. However, in this case, you're signing a guy. He's never been a world beater at the plate, Eric.
Not really. The only time he was a real world beater is when they had the juice balls.
Eric, honestly. Is this Giants fan philosophy we're listening to again? Oh, wait till next year. Wait till a second.
Yeah.
Wait till a third year playing in the same park. There's nothing but excuses, Eric. If the guy's not hitting, he's not hitting. Yeah. He's not contributing. Yeah. He's not contributing. Eric, you say he's contributing. He's an average player on a really good team.
Correct. Exactly. He is a piece that you use to build around somebody else.
He would have been a good trade pickup for a team that was going for it all. Yeah. Snell and Chapman, you could have unloaded
them. You know where he would have succeeded, honestly? If you traded him to the Yankees. If you traded him to the Yankees, oh my God. The Yankees would be they're already good, but they'd be even that much better, to be honest with you. They would be that much better if the Giants had traded Chapman to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Gosh, could you imagine? Yeah, Jordan, yes, he is an elite third baseman. There's no denying that fact. I just don't want him to be the centerpiece when you could go out there and maybe get someone better, not necessarily at third base, but at a different position. And if he opts out, he opts out. Oh, what do we got? Gonzo says Chapman 3 years, 65 to 70 million. I want to be opposed to that. To be honest with you, Gonzo, I want to be opposed to that. Because what are you sitting at there right now? Not gonna make sure I got this here. Let me do this. So at the max, you're talking 23 million at the max. Whoo, I guess. But here's the question: does Chapman accept 3 years at either 65 or 70? Do you think he accepts that? I don't think he does. I think he wants something even more long-term than that. And yes, alive. I don't think Chapman is your priority. You need yes, alive. I 100% agree with you. I don't think the Giants are going to be able to get it done. Not to say it's not totally impossible. I just don't see it. A foundational piece like Soto. Look, the Giants need a first baseman. They need a second baseman, and they need another outfielder, possibly. Third base, yes. Would it be nice to be able to just keep him on the current deal that he's? If he opts out, he opts out. But we have Chapman.
Not just a stopgap. Not just a stopgap. Those 3 positions you just named, we got to go out.
What's up, buddy?
Pencil a guy in those positions, Eric.
Do you think another team gives the contract that Chapman is looking for? I don't know, man. I don't know.
I can't see anybody giving him long term.
I don't know. The Giants are not getting Soto.
Do you really think, Eric? Do you really think? Listen, remember what we heard the day of the trade deadline? Do you actually think, perhaps up in the offices, that? Do you think perhaps that the Giants were really overenthused about signing him, or were the keys given to the man down in the dugout for that move as well, bringing in his old buddy? Come on over. I know you were in the Bay Area with me. You're not happy in Toronto. Come on down, and it's like a father-son relationship, those two.
Yes, it is. And here it is, RJ. He talks about it. What's up, RJ? Good to see you in here, man. Prior to the season, Chapman claimed he wanted to play for Bo Mel because there was unfinished business. Well, guess what?
There's still unfinished business.
There's going to be a lot of unfinished business if the Giants don't change their ways. I put out a pretty good tweet earlier, man. I had to let it out. Man. I was pissed off. But if you stick with the current regime, there's going to be a lot of unfinished business. As a matter of fact, you will finish your career with a lot of unfinished business if the Giants don't change their ways.
Yeah, they get the wrong philosophy of building a club here, Eric. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. The guys who should have been here after training camp weren't. The guys who should have been let go weren't. Too many weren'ts. Too many weren'ts in good, bad ways, isn't there? Look, how many times we said it. Where was all the youth? All this hot youth? Where was Fitzgerald and Ramos and McRae and all these guys who are now our everyday players who are actually contributing? They were here, Eric. And there would not have been a spot for them if the dominoes hadn't fallen the way they did.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was all because of injuries.
This wasn't managerial moves up in the office saying, hey, let's bring this guy up. It was situational, wasn't it? He had to bring players up.
Speaking of managerial moves, let's get into this a little bit here. Hold on. I saw this earlier and I found it interesting.
What's that? Well, while you do that, I'll remind everybody that coming up in about an hour, little less than an hour from now, we'll have a Saturday night edition of Military History Chronicles. With
Eric.
We'll they'll look at what's going on overseas in tonight's edition, all the latest and what's going on around the world and militarily. It's coming up on tonight's show about 54 minutes from now, Eric. You'll be launching.
Right around there. Should be interesting. A lot of stuff. I'm keeping an eye on my phone as it's popping off because it's easier to look at that than keep going to Twitter. But yeah, things are popping off in Israel. We'll get into that a little bit later tonight. But here we go. Let's take a look at what I saw earlier today. Talking about Mr. Camilo Doval. All right. Andrew got a quote from him, or I don't know if he actually got it or he heard it or whatever, but it's a quote from Duvall. I think it was good that I was sent down because it brought me back down to earth. It made me realize who I was. It made me realize that what I needed to do to stay up here. And I also realized not to take things for granted.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
Freaking duh.
No, the reason why I'm bringing this up for the simple fact.
Why are you bringing it up?
What was the reason why they sent him down? Supposedly, Melvin said that they're sending him down because he's got to work on things. That sounds like more than just working on quote unquote your craft. And I put a tweet out there. That doesn't it seem like it's more than working on his craft, that there's something else going on. That's something that we alluded to, that there's had to been something else that's going on for your closer to not just be taken out of the closer role, but the guy was sent to AAA. So there is definitely something that was other than just what he was doing. Farhan with that quote.
Something fishy.
But yeah. So
well.
It just, again, it kind of just reaffirms what I thought, that there was something more than just him performing on the mound. There was some other extenuating circumstances, and that's why he got sent down.
We'll see what happens. Michael Roeder. I got it. Michael Roeder. It finally, 4 weeks later, I got it, Eric. It's Michael Roeder in the chat. Says, we need a number 2 catcher, first baseman. Those are the priority. I think we need a first baseman, a second baseman, an outfielder, maybe a third baseman if it doesn't work out with Chapman. You're looking at a lot of pieces. And Eric, do we need a catcher?
No. We're good with Bailey's fine. He's a great catcher behind the dish. His bat, look.
He has no bat.
Well, in the beginning of the season,
it's hot for 2 weeks and he's cold for 2 months. That's not.
Problem is he was injured. Before he was injured, he was okay.
I think there was a quality young catcher who's a 260, 270 steady hitter.
You don't see that much with the catchers though. That's few and far between.
That's why you get him. If you can get a catcher,
who are you going to get for that
catcher?
Yeah, it's hard. You got to remember, these guys are in the squat for an entire game. Their legs get mushy by the end of the season. It's not the same. Look, that's why Posey was so special, because he was able to. You know what? But we had a number 2 catcher in Joey Bart, but Farhan traded him away, man. We had a number 2 catcher.
This is why I look at the chat and they come up with stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh, great! Well, we got Bailey." I'm like, Eric, I have no problem blowing this thing up if we can make this a better team. Next year, all the people who say, "Oh, he's a great catcher," next July, we're doing the show on a Saturday night, Eric. I don't want to hear people saying, "My God, but he's like 2 for 63. What are we going to do?" He's not hitting. He hasn't hit. He's been streaking at best.
Well, he's been hurt too.
And I had him in my fantasy league early. I had to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Again, what's he batting? Let me find out what he's batting.
Oh, it's like 250, maybe somewhere around there.
Yeah. And that is an anomaly.
Well, in this league, in this time of day, man, a 250 hitter is like 300, man.
A lot of guys, Eric, that I would move, and some of the fans are like, "Oh, we could never move him." Eric, they can move anybody in this organization.
But here, so
I like what I've seen from McRae. I like him.
Yeah,
little hustler out there. Isn't he like a little water bug out there?
His defense is fantastic. His bat has been okay. He'll have his. They said that he's going to strike out a lot. That's kind of like the thing about him. He'll strike out a lot.
I thought he's been pretty steady. For a young guy, his first taste.
Yeah, first taste. Yeah, I like it. Is he going to be an everyday? I don't know. Here, I don't know, man. Now the Giants have a future first baseman in Eldridge. Okay, so maybe you can hang on and wait a couple of years until Eldridge comes up. That's fine. If you want to roll with Wade for the next couple of years, whatever. Because look, I don't think the Giants are ready for this year. I don't think they're going to be ready next year. I'm talking about playoff runs, guys. What I mean by playoff runs, I'm talking about getting deep. If you're going to get into the playoffs, you're going for it, man. It's about getting that World Series. I think 26, 27, that's going to be your years where maybe you're going to be doing something. We'll see. If everything works out like it's supposed to. If it doesn't, and Farhan continues to miss, well, if Farhan's even still around, but do you think that there's too many holes in the roster right now in comparison to how long Farhan has been in charge? Supposedly he was supposed to redo this whole damn thing, and we still have holes.
It's like they haven't started a rebuild of any sort yet, Eric.
It doesn't, because he keeps piecing it together one year by year, and he hasn't hit on the draft. Look, he hit on last year's draft, this year's draft. Maybe he hit on Tibbs. Okay, maybe. But after 6 years of having this GM, you should be well on your way in getting something done. And it seems like we're at the bottom.
And why are you making moves anyway? You're making moves. You're not making quality moves like, again, at this year's trade deadline. No quality moves whatsoever, Eric. And then you're trying to, what are you telling me? You're building around Yaz?
Yeah.
When you say, oh my God, remember the famous clip about a month ago, maybe 8 weeks ago? What do we give Farhan a lifetime contract here? That clip out of New York City?
Yeah.
Well, what did we give? What did we give? A 10-year contract to Yaz that we don't know about?
No, he's still in arbitration. That's the problem. I think does he have one more year arbitration?
What is
he hits
infatuation with certain
I don't know.
Eric?
Because I guess you could get him cheaper than wherever else you can get, I guess. I don't know. What's up, Kyle?
Like Rod Stewart says, it's early in the morning and I can't see it, Eric. Infatuation, because he should have been gone. He should have been Conforto. Yes. They keep the players I expect to go. And then the players I think are going to be here down in the minor leagues. I can't keep track anymore, Eric. Oh,
yeah, I know.
I just got to wave in the white towel some days.
I hear you.
Give up.
Oh, there's one more. So you'll have one more year, Yaz, see, because he's got one more year of arbitration. As soon as he hit free agency, then he'll be gone. There you are.
You got Yaz
Michael and Gilbert.
You've got
Yaz will be back.
You got Flores next year.
Flores is gone. This is his last year, isn't it?
He's got another year at almost, $9 million? Yeah, they're not.
Does he have one more year?
8.5?
Okay, so he'll
another
be
year at 8.5. They ain't waving him for 8.5 million, Eric. They ain't showing him the door 8.5.
No, they're not. He'll be back then. I didn't know he had one more year. I thought this was Flores' last year.
And what about what do we got? I'm gonna have to look these all up. What do we got Wade for next? Is Wade
I think Wade's still in arbitration as well, so he'll be back.
So Eric, there's a lot of Eric? There's a lot. I see a lot of next year again, right now.
Look, I am not putting any stock in the Giants getting into the playoffs next year. Even in 2026, you might start making a run, maybe, but you've got work to do before you could start talking about, World Series aspirations here.
The only way I see it happening, Eric, just came up with an epiphany. You know the way I see it happening, or I could possibly see us going on a nice run next year? Eric, the guys have said it. They say it more than us usually in the chat. This team will have an opportunity next year if they get right out of the gate with Jung-Hoo Lee and these nice pieces, the youth this year, if they wanted to change their philosophy and play small ball.
I don't see it. I honestly don't see it.
Team is not a home running team.
Because Farhan doesn't
not a home running team. And then you got, like I said last night, where they held it in Encarnacion. Another guy, he's playing every day for 12 days.
No, he's not.
And then
he's not. But you know why? Because you're facing right-handed freaking pitchers. That's why you don't see Encarnacion. He's been gone the last 2 damn series. Nowhere to be found. Not even pitch hitting. Nowhere. That's this team.
So now what does that tell you about what you got guys on the bench you don't even want to call upon?
Because it's flawed. The whole concept of the way that Farhan wants to play baseball is flawed.
I told Bernice after the show last night, I was so pooped at it. I was out of gas last night. That was a wild show, Eric. That was
that was
one
fun.
Last night. Got a lot off my chest last night.
I think we all did.
And you too. Everybody. I think the chat.
I think the chat did too, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good social gathering of the masses last night to talk about what the hell went on in Seattle after that ninth inning
debacle. That was a debacle.
Way to go.
Debacle.
Eric. See, now look. We need a solid lineup. Jesus, we need any semblance of a lineup right now because I just don't see it, Eric.
Exactly.
I'm over at the ballpark in the past week. We had that big homestand. I saw it earlier this week. I saw it last week, Eric. when I would text, I'd get a message from Robert. Oh, they're going to have to go. They're going to have to go to the bench soon. Do you think they'll bring in this guy? I'm like, oh, they've got to. If they're a platoon team, they're going to make this move. And then, all right, Conforto bats. And I go, Jesus, are you not platooning now because you have no faith in what's on the bench? Like you're either they're either a platoon team, Eric, or they're not a platoon team. It changes. The philosophy changes. And then when you bring in the crap we talked about last night that got me all fired up, when you are talking about a game earlier this week where your pitcher is coming out because let me check the schedule. It's like going to a play. Let me check the play bill, Eric. Oh, he'll be coming out in the 6th inning, Eric. Sorry. For those of you who like his one hitter, he's coming out. Why? Oh, we decided at lunch. We had lunch today and decided that he was coming out. That's baloney. It's malarkey, as my dad would say. It's malarkey. Whatever happened to having a manager back there? Eric just says, I'm going to manage this. I'm going to manage the team as the game unfolds. You're ready for me now. Oh, yeah.
That's why, man. That's why. That's why. That's why. Okay, I put this out earlier.
But it frustrates, Eric. We're rehashing the same stuff a lot over and over and over. Isn't it frustrating?
It is, because it always comes back to him every time. All right, here we go. Tell me if you guys agree or disagree. I put this tweet out earlier. Again, I saw this called. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me minimize this. Look at the look on this guy's face. Jeff Passan tweeted this, right? Says MVPs are won in June and July, or not won in June. MVPs are won in August and September. He talked with Francisco Lindor and those around him about how he has grown into the soul of the New York Mets and has them back in playoff contention. So I saw this, so I was like, okay, I gotta talk about how it relates to the Giants. I said, path forward will not be easy, Giants fans. I just can't see it, and the club needs to make changes if winning is the priority. It's time to grab the bull by the horns and get the right people to run baseball operations. Ownership needs to blow this open. Stop piddling around, staying around the CBT. You're printing money with Mission Rock. Open the coffers and act like a big market team that you are. Enough. If you don't care about winning, then sell your portion of the club to someone who is. Agree or disagree, guys?
I agree, but only to the effect, Derek. You're in a rare situation where this team is it's not community owned, but God damn it, they've got a community of ownership. Who calls who makes the decisions over there? You got too many wine and cheese tasters getting together for board meetings. Eric, if you're going to own an operation, my business is, I've had an opportunity to have people with some serious money be on the board of directors with me.
Here's my issue.
I am a solo shareholder. You know why, Eric? Because I make the decisions, Eric.
Yes, and I understand that dynamic.
Not three of us and 2 out of 3 wins. I call the shots. If I hire, I can fire. And that's, we got 31 owners or something, Eric?
Okay, here we go. Yeah, there's a shit ton of owners.
How do you operate a business with that many owners? Or that
then guess what?
A little,
then guess what?
A little piece in the pie.
Then guess what? Then don't be a freaking owner. If you're not about wanting to have winning baseball, sell your portion to someone who does.
I think it's prestige.
But this is the issue I have. Even if you don't, guess what? Oh, we know, ownership, that you make billions of dollars off this real estate. We know this, guys. They're making billions of dollars. So guess what? You're a big market team. And if you can't act as a big market team, then get out of the business of owning baseball. That's all I'm saying. It's about winning. And if you're not about winning, then you got to go do something else. Because I'm sick and tired of hearing this team. I don't know if we could go over to CBT, guys. They're acting like they're a poor organization, and they're not poor. They are loaded. So spend the money. I don't give a crap. If you got to spend, if your payroll is $400 million, I don't give a shit, to be honest with you, because you're going to make that up. Even with all the penalties that you occur from the MLB, guess what? The Dodgers are doing it. The Yankees are doing it. The Mets are doing it. And guess what? All those teams are winning right now. Does it always translate? No, it may not always translate. But you know what? At least you're putting forth the effort. That's all I ask. I'm asking you as ownership of of the San Francisco Giants, again, a storied franchise who has a history of winning. If you can't come to those grips, then get out of the business. Move aside, sell your portion, get someone in here who wants to win. That's all I'm asking.
And there, Spencer Stewart agrees with me. It's one of the problems. You got 30 plus owners running a team, right? You just Eric, and if we had one owner and it wasn't going our way, then we can point the finger.
Yeah.
Point the finger. But this community style ownership, Eric, is for the birds. Have one guy, and if he stinks, he stinks. And if he's willing to win and spend his money, how many times? We've had him on the show twice. Tommy Durjevic, who covers the Yankees and Mets. And he says the Mets owner, if he gets out of bed tomorrow and says, we didn't do enough at the trade deadline, I want you to go out and get this guy and sign. Just tell the Yankees, bring him over on our side of the city. These are the guys I want. And he opens his checkbook. You don't see that here. Tom's like, that's the great thing about New York, both teams. If they say we're hiring Eric, we want Eric. And I go, yeah, well, Eric's part of my Giant Sports Talk live team. They go, Eric, how much do you want? Eric, they don't just want you at any kind of they set the market value.
Yes.
They set the market. They go, well, Eric's worth this over only 3 years. They go, I want him. How much is it going to take to get him?
Right.
And that's the way you should run your business, Eric.
You should, but that's the problem. Here, let's take a look at this.
I'm working up a sweat again, Eric. We're just, what? The show's going to be over soon, and I'm just getting going.
I know you are, man. You're ready to go. Where the hell is it? I know it's in here somewhere. I know it's in here. I already almost did. What do we got here?
I haven't seen Will. Is Will getting geared up, doing his research for the show? You're going to be on in a little over half an hour. Military History Chronicles, guys. Make sure you check out. You hit like and subscribe when you go over to Eric's channel. It's a great bit of entertainment, and you will leave educated as always.
Yes, that should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun.
Love the show. I don't say that because I know you. Long before this channel, I used to be a regular. I tune in late nights to your show, and it's pretty interesting, Eric.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Should be a fun show tonight.
And Will,
here we go.
Too.
You guys want to take a look at this? San Francisco Giants website. Principal owners. Look how many.
Crap.
Look how many.
Wait a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 15, 30. I see 29. Am I right on the money? I see 29. My eyes,
something like
my
that.
Bulbs. I need the bulbs on here I think I see 29 there, Eric.
So you got Arctos Sports Partners.
I see they haven't updated. We got Willie Mays as a special assistant there.
Yeah. Daniel Geller Trust, Jeffrey Mallett, John Scully, Larry Baer, Philip Halprin, Philip D. Morris, Scott Siegelman, Anil Brucey, Torrey Humphrey, Lawrence Nibby, Robert Sokolov, Alex Byer, David Jenkins, Nancy Olson, Jed Walantis,
Nancy Olson.
Yeah, exactly. David Jenkins, Nancy Olson. Yeah, Philip Byer, Charles B. Johnson. That's the principal owner. Well, I guess he owns, 33% or something like that, whatever. Buster Posey, David Wolf, William Chang, Rupert H. Johnson Jr., Arthur Rock, Paul Wives Jr., Trina Dean, Dwayne Crusoe, Daniel Scheinman, Jerry Yang, George Drysdale, Deborah McGowan, and David Snell. There you go. Those are your owners. That's the issue. I don't know if the biggest issue is Larry Baer, though, Cryptic. You know what happened, though? You know what I think? I think he is definitely a baseball fan. but I think he got kind of pushed aside. I don't think he's got as much pull anymore ever since the quote unquote incident. Ever since the incident, he was pushed away. Remember, he was the guy kind of in charge prior to that incident. After the incident, that's when Charles came in charge. Or not Charles, Greg Johnson then took over the position that Larry Baer was filling. So I guess you can kind of blame himself because, he was part of the quote unquote incident, and it hasn't been the same since. But look, you got like 30 something owners. You got 30 something owners. And I think there's 7 of them that are on the board, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the issue unfortunately that fan, blame everything on George Drysdale. Nice, Darren. But that's the issue right there, guys. And until ownership, because look, even though we could sit here and blame Farhan, which he deserves blame because of the style of baseball that he plays, but a lot of this has to be put on ownership as well. It has to be. They're the ones that are hiring this guy. I mean, who else are you going to go to? Who are we going to blame? You can't blame the fans. Who are you going to blame? Lucille? who are you going to blame?
I think he's the only one we haven't blamed, Eric.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Who else can we point our finger to? Look, this team has been 500 for the majority of Farhan's time. This season will probably finish right around 500.
You know what, Eric? I've taken a change of stance in one thing. I'm not jumping on everybody's bandwagon about Mission Rock. When people say, "Oh my God, they spent 1.5 billion on Mission Rock," Eric, the ownership and the people involved in that, Eric, they're investors. That's a business. They
are. I get it. I understand. And
so my days of coming on the show and talking about Mission Rock being, an objective and not, they're in business, Eric.
And I get it. You know what?
And I'm fine with it. But,
yes.
But also you have a stake in your ownership here on this side of the water. Keep your hands on this one too.
Exactly. That's all I'm asking. If you want to look, I'm not against. You want to go make your dollar? Go for it. Have at it. We're in the United States of America. You have every right to go earn whatever you want to earn. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not sitting there saying to put penalties on these people. What I'm saying is if you could spend billions of dollars in Mission Rock and real estate, then I don't want to hear about staying below the CBT. Right. Blow past it. If you want to compete, blow past it. Who cares? You're going to make it up. You're going to make it up.
I don't agree with this statement, Eric, and I'll tell you why. Senior, our old buddy Senior Softball Games, who we value as a member of the chat, he says, what sucks the most? The fans have zero leverage over the ownership. Even if people boycott it, it wouldn't affect the ownership one bit. It's dreadful position for the Giants. I don't agree with that. And I won't harp on it, but I told you last night, you start seeing this continually drop. And look how much it's dropped already. And now they're saying, ticket sales. Tonight's attendance, 33,000. I go, Eric, there was not 33,000. There was only 12 people in my whole section.
That's how many. There's a difference.
Ticket sales. I think there's a lot of fudge in the numbers, Eric.
But here's another thing. And I agree with Senior for the simple fact did the team make money in 2020 during COVID? Guarantee you they did. Was there one fan in the stands? Nope. You know why? Because they're making hand over fist with the real estate. Why do you think they're dropping the prices? Why do you think you got $5 tickets, $10 tickets, whatever it may be? You think they're making money off of that? Yeah, to an extent they are, for the simple fact is the ballpark is paid off, man. The ballpark is paid off. They don't have to fill that. They could be at half capacity, and they're still making money. And not only that.
Oh, I almost said the bad word. Then why the hell? Then why bother? Then why bother?
That makes it exactly why. That's why I have issues with what this ownership is doing, because all they're trying to do is not have to spend so much money on the ball club, because it makes more money in their pocket with the real estate. They're making more money off the real estate than they are the club. That's what they're doing.
See, that's why I don't buy into this. When we talk about business and talk about, even our show. when we do the morning show, we do a little morning show, get you teed up for the day. It's not quantity over quality, Eric. It's quality that matters most.
So
if you're going to run a business where quality is not, you're not rated highest in quality, then I go, maybe it's time to ride off into the pasture and move your business to someone else.
Right.
So, that happens to some of us. I know guys in the radio industry, they get up and they go, I'm selling my stations. I go, what? Never saw that go. He goes, it's time to retire. It's just, I'm done. I'm done. And they're smart enough where they'll say, I'm not keeping them for the sake of keeping them as a business. If I can't run them properly, it's time for me to move on. And I totally agree. And that's the situation we're in here, Eric. So if this is a group of shareholders who are quite content to be a laughing stock of Major League Baseball, make a few bucks, then I guess everybody's, it's kumbaya over at Mission Rock and over at Oracle Park.
Exactly.
Or we don't, we're not, who are we arguing with? They're happy, Eric.
Yep. Let's take a look at this.
So Eric and I don't want to come on here every night and just bitch for the sake of, hey, what can we bitch about tonight? Eric, to me, this is a serious situation.
Yes.
Where we stand right now with this organization is becoming of the utmost concern to me. That you got management who's not doing anything, ownership who's not concerned about doing anything, and the fans that keep buying the tickets and going like myself. Until the WNBA comes, we pay off the rest of our season tickets.
There you go. Hold on. Let me show you something here. Let's take a look.
What do you got?
Eric's
opening the tickle trunk. What do you got in there, Eric?
What's that say up at the very top?
Oh, you mean like multi-billion Franklin Templeton?
Yeah, Franklin Templeton. Who owns Franklin Templeton?
Wouldn't that be Charlie?
Yeah, Charles. Well, Charles, but Greg, I think, is taking over the helm because Charles is like 90-something. He's
the family.
Retired.
Okay. The family.
Yeah. Gotcha. Here we go. You want to see how much they manage?
I said what?
Total assets under management.
That's not.
You see what that says? You see what that says?
That's not a trillion.
That is $1.6 trillion.
Oh, I was in the billions, Eric. I didn't know it was. I didn't. You know what? We're out of my league now, Eric. I can't even compete in the conversation.
$1.6 trillion. That's how much they manage.
When I pay the rent at the end of the month, the mortgage, Eric. Jesus.
Look.
The
total assets under management. Look, and that's fine. Like I said, you're successful. That's fantastic. But if you're owning a professional baseball team, come on, man. I don't want to hear coming out of your mouth about breaking even. I don't want to hear anything about staying under the CBT. I don't want to hear anything about, we got to save money. I don't want to hear that because that's disingenuous. You can't sit there and say, if you got a company where you're responsible for nearly $2 trillion and you're making billions of dollars, not necessarily Franklin Templeton, but the ownership group is making billions of dollars in Mission Rock. I don't want to hear about staying under the CBT or right around it.
Something else that I agree on.
Get out of here.
We agree.
That's my issue. That's all I'm saying is if you're able to make that much money, then some of it needs to go into the club.
I like you know what? Cryptic's all in. He says just gonna buy him. We'll back you. We'll have you on the show. Cryptic, the day you buy the Giants, we'll have you on as a special guest. We'll salute you. We'll honor you. We'd love somebody to buy the team. Who cares, wouldn't we?
Hey, guess what, Glenn?
It's time to say adios, goodbye, good
Almost,
night.
But before that,
guys,
if you don't know,
tomorrow's show,
we're going to have a special guest right after the game or shortly thereafter.
He asked me to message him today. I forgot.
Oh, dear God. Well, maybe we'll have a guest tomorrow. We got Matt Stairs. I said
I
Matt.
forgot to tell you because you and I were rushed before we went to air tonight. Bryn Smith invented a pitch called the palm ball.
The palm ball. I remember the palm ball.
So Bryn Smith will be hopefully an upcoming guest on a show. I spoke to him today.
Hey, all right.
I talked to Eddie Montague, former Major League manager today. We'll hopefully have him on a show.
You mean umpire?
Or umpire, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm fired. Try to read the chat while I talk. Can't do two things at once.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Sorry. So we've got guests in the hopper, so to speak. World Series champion Matt Stairs has already agreed to be on the show tomorrow afternoon. He will be on, and he's 4 hours ahead, so this will work out great. If you join us right after the Mariners and Giants wrap up tomorrow, maybe give us half an hour to get him on the line, get him geared up for the show. I know I'll be geared up. I'll be fired up, but
That's
have a great
awesome.
interview. The guy achieved he almost has Hall of Fame credentials, Eric. A guy who played so long with so many accolades, won a World Series, all-time Major League Baseball pinch hit leader. And guess what? He's coming on our show.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun
Tomorrow.
Should be a lot of fun.
And then you think we're done? No. Tomorrow night, we'll talk about the series in Seattle, our regularly scheduled showtime of 8 o'clock. We'll do a 1-hour show, and we'll wrap things up there, head into a day off. We'll get ready for Tuesday in Milwaukee. I want to head on out of here, get you and Will ready to take over in Studio 3. We've got the big show, Military History Chronicles, coming up. So tomorrow, before we wrap up, I believe it's Robbie Ray who's been pushed a day. He'll go tomorrow. And Robbie Ray, he'll be grunting and growling, I'm sure. He'll be on the hill for the Giants. And going for the Mariners will be Brian Woo.
Woo, yeah, he's good.
Woo. Yeah. So it's a lefty versus a righty tomorrow at T-Mobile Park. The game gets underway at 1:10. We hope to be on about 4 or 4:30 tomorrow afternoon.
And
that works for you, Eric.
And I saw, you guess what the rotation is going to be for in Milwaukee? Harrison, Webb, and Birdsong.
Ooh, 2 youngsters out of 3.
Not like
then you start, listen, I don't want to play pickleball and, back and forth with you on all this. But so we got 2 young pitchers going in the Milwaukee series. Yeah. Milwaukee's playing good ball.
Yes.
Then I go, oh, geez, well, we got Snell. Well, then I go, geez, are we getting another Snell performance like today? Because they'll clobber him.
Yes, they would.
And then I'm like,
I thought Harrison should have pitched tomorrow for the simple fact Mariners can't hit.
Yes.
Harrison's having a little bit of issues, so why not throw him against the team that can't hit? But whatever.
Yeah, Robbie Ray, he's back in Seattle. Maybe that gets him fired up, though, Eric. Maybe he's like going to have a career-esque performance. Robbie Ray, 3-2 up against Brian Woo, who's 5-2, but a 2.12 ERA. So he's not giving up a lot of runs and not a lot of hits. Game tomorrow, as mentioned, 1:10, just after 1 o'clock. So we'll be on the air after 4 or so tomorrow afternoon. We'll have our special guest, Matt Stairs. We're back tomorrow night at 8 with our regularly scheduled 1-hour Sunday night show. We've got a show Monday. It'll be a day off, so it's going to be a free-for-all, Eric. We'll have the chat will dictate what we talk about.
Hey, look at that free roll.
And you can join us weekday mornings for Giant Sports Talk Live when we go up on the web at 7 a.m.
Absolutely. All right, guys. See you guys over at Military History Chronicles. I'm going to go live at 9:30. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I'm going to get into stuff that's happening across the world. Right now, big things are happening in Israel. So we'll touch on that. It sounds like Israel did a preemptive attack against Hezbollah because they had information that Hezbollah was getting ready to launch their rockets and their drones. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the northern part of Israel. And then, of course, I'll get into the questions, see what the chat has to say, and then we could talk about what's going on in the rest of the world. So it should be interesting. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, that's cool. If not,
two other short snappers, Eric. I don't know if you locked me out by accident or what happened. I can get in and watch military history. I just can't chat with you guys anymore in military history.
What?
Yeah, my chat is completely locked up. It will not allow me. I've done everything.
I'll fix it.
So I couldn't even say hi to Will.
I'll fix it. I'll take
it. And the other thing is, maybe Michael had mentioned this. I'll do a little research. Maybe we can talk on the evening edition tomorrow night a little bit about the World Series final for the Little Leaguers.
All right, right on. Hope to see you over at Military History Chronicles. Right on.
And I will see you tonight, Eric. I'll see you tomorrow as well. Tomorrow,
absolutely.
The afternoon edition, special guest on Giant Sports Talk Live.
Yeah, don't miss it, guys. So we got Postgame in the evening, and then Mets there tomorrow. We'll see you.
Bye, Mom.
Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.